In this video, I want to take you through the actual process I went through in order to create the mobile website video. The first thing that you're going to need is you're going to need some sort of screen recording software, screen capture software. I'm on a Mac, so I use ScreenFlow. ScreenFlow is a really good program. It's Mac-based, so of course that works the best. If you're on Windows, you can use Camtasia, and they do have a Mac version, but I've tried both, and I actually like ScreenFlow better. So it's just depending on what you like and what system you're on, you could use one of these. Camtasia does have a 30-day free trial, so I mean that could be, a huge plus there. But one other one I'll mention is Cam Studio. And Cam Studio is kind of cool because it's free, and it does a pretty darn good job of recording your screen and making some high quality videos. So any one of these 3 screen recorders would be perfectly fine to use in order to create your videos. The next thing that you're going to need is you're going to need an iPhone simulator or an iPhone emulator. And a simulator is different from an emulator because a simulator is basically just a web-based web page that has some sort of simulator on it like this, where you can slide it over and then you get all of the same functionality. The one thing that I'll mention about this is they don't always function the way that an actual iPhone or BlackBerry or Android phone will, and the reason is because they're just a simulator. So you want to try and get an emulator such as iBeebi Demo 2, and the reason an emulator is a little bit better is because it actually emulates the operating system. So it's more like actually using one of these phones than a simulator is, where it's just a simulation and it's not always exactly right. An emulator isn't always exactly right either, but it's usually closer in my opinion. So what you can do if you want to get the emulator where you can download it on your actual computer, you just do a Google search for iBeebi Demo 2 and you'll find it there. And you can download that onto your computer, and it's a really nice looking iPhone emulator. And of course they have these for BlackBerry, Android phones and everything. So you just need to get a good emulator, screen capture software, and then you need to do a little bit of research before you actually start creating your video, where you can reference certain things like I did, where I had the graph on there. I found this article and thought it was interesting. It was on the New York Times. May 13th, 2010, cell phones now used more for data than for calls. This just perfectly backs up what our video is all about. So you could maybe cite this article a couple times. So once you have all this ready, what you want to do is you want to get everything up and running, and then get both the business website and your mobile website, the template that you're going to show them, get them both loaded into the mobile website validator. And what you're going to want to do is open up one tab, put in the business website, open up another tab with the same address, and then put in your mobile website template that you're going to show them. Because basically what you want this to do is show them how bad theirs is and then show them how good yours is. And it basically will kind of sell itself. Okay, so the first thing that you would need to do is get that all set up. And then once that's all set up, you're ready to start recording. And then once you hit record on your actual screen recording software, you want to just mention that you were maybe in the area looking for their similar business and you came across their website and you noticed that it wasn't a mobile optimized website and you had a few ideas that might help them or something like that. More or less what you could do is just copy the script that I used in the video. You do want to mention early on in the video that there's nothing wrong with their current website. Their current website looks great. The only problem is there's not a mobile version that pops up when people come to their website from a smartphone. That's one of the big things, is you need to make sure that you say that, because a lot of times they'll think it's something wrong with their regular website, when in reality this is a whole other version of their website. But generally, you just want to say somehow that you stumbled across their website and saw that it wasn't a mobily optimized site. And then you can say the reason that this is so important for you to have is because cell phones are now used more for data than for calls. And this is an article from the New York Times recently that was saying that, so you know it's a huge deal. That's why it's so important to have this. And then what you'd want to do is just show them what their website looks like on an iPhone emulator. So you'd come here and you would just tell them, okay, so I went to your website and this is kind of what it looks like. It's really hard to navigate around on because you can't see where everything's at on the page. And what this does is it just makes it hard to maintain the user interest and attention span or whatever. And then from there, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to show them how optimized their website is on the mobile website checker. So then you can just say, well, and then I wanted to show you quick how your site checks out on this mobile validator website. And then you can show them that it's at 1%. And now you want to show them what a mobile optimized website looks like. And basically, if they have any common sense, they'll look at this and just see how much easier it is to navigate. You'll show them up and down how it just scrolls up and everything's on one screen, so you don't have to scroll left and right to see whatever it is that they're looking for. You could click on some of the tabs if you wanted to and just highlight some of the features, and then show them how it checks out on the mobile website checker, and show them that this is up in the 85 percentile. So that way they can see that there's a huge gap between where they're at and where this mobile website's at, and tell them that this can close that gap by optimizing a mobile website that's optimized for smartphones. So a real quick rundown of what you need to get a screen recording system, and then you need to get the mobile validator website set up with their business website and your test mobile site, so you can show them the difference between the two, like how one checks out versus the other. And then you need to get an iPhone simulator or an emulator, and then have that up and running with their business site first, and then show them their business on the mobile validator, and then show them the mobily optimized website. And of course, you'll probably have to cut out some of the downtime in between when you're typing in the web addresses and stuff, so it flows a little smoother. But then once you show them that on the iPhone emulator, then you'll come back over to the second tab of the mobile validator and show them how that site checks out there. You know, you can add in bits and pieces of information as you see fit, but that is a general overview of how to make one of these mobile website videos for a prospective client.